Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great week so far, staying healthy, staying strong, and productive. Welcome, Ashish. Hi, Charmin. Hi, Spell. Good to see everyone. Charmin is asking, in the paper-based exam, do they give any extra paper for doing planning? Yes, they do. Absolutely. And you can use the back of the sheets as well. So there's lots of extra paper for your planning in the paper-based exam. Angelo, yes, in the computer-based exam, they also give you a piece of paper to check in at the start of each section, and you can use that for your planning as well. So you've got lots of space also. Students, in this class, we are looking at task 2 writing. We're looking at a new question, and we're going to discuss how to come up with a Band 9 concept and write a strong essay. Again, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com, as well as gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, you will find lots and lots of materials to help you increase your scores and get great results on your next IELTS exam. I'll quickly show you these websites while we join us. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background at aehelp.com. Click this big red button to join our premium package. It is a one-time payment. It's well worth it. Costs a fraction of the official exam, and you'll do much better when you go through the materials. We are an official British Council IELTS registration center and certified agents. This is the general IELTS website here with the green background. Again, big red button. Click there to join our premium package. Get that lifetime access, or at least until you pass your IELTS exam. Our websites are supported by our native apps. You can download our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help, from your app stores. You can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AE Help and GIELTS Help. So check us out there. If you have questions, comments, concerns, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will get back to you in due time. We have classes each week like this, live classes from Wednesday to Saturday. So we're kind of halfway in our live class week. Mr. and Mrs. Batar, the prices on our website vary depending on which country you are in. So check out the website, but it's not expensive anywhere, so it's worth it. All right, let's get into some writing. Here we go. So you are in the writing section. It's the final section of the sitting part of the exam. So it means that you did the listening, you did the reading. Stay focused, keep your energy up, and let's do this. So here we go. IELTS Task 2 writing. Your first step should always be to just really carefully read the question and make sure that you understand what you need to do, what you need to write. So let's do this. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Many people invest a lot of their time into their social media image, such as uploading videos and pictures of themselves to the internet. What has led to this trend? How is this trend affecting people's lives? Give explanations and examples for your response. All right, so IELTS always coming up with some kind of a new and interesting question. Welcome, Carolina, our moderator. Good to have you in the class. Okay, so first step is to paraphrase the question. You should do this every single time in order to make sure that you understand the question and you have more insight, more knowledge on what you need to write. This is not your introduction per se, so it can become a part of your essay or perhaps your introduction, but this is just your first step for brainstorming, okay? You should always take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to plan your essay. Good planning will help you to write the essay faster and will help you to write a better essay, okay? So planning is not a waste of time. If you don't plan, then you can get into trouble. So let's do this. All right. So paraphrase. State this question in your own words as best as you can. I'll do the same and then we'll compare, okay? I see a few questions coming up about our course and payment and such. Just send me an email. I'll gladly answer. There's lots of different ways to pay for our online course, Sanem. You can pay with online banking, credit card, debit card. Just send me an email and I'll give you information. Okay, so let me paraphrase, you paraphrase, and then we'll compare. So okay, so here we go. All right, so this is what I wrote. Let's see what you wrote, and then we'll compare. Sammy writes, many individuals spend too much time. Careful, Sammy. The question doesn't say too much time. It just says a lot of time. So don't put your own opinion into the paraphrase. You have to be very, very, very careful about that. Okay. So Sammy says, many individuals spend a lot of time on their community media image, like uploading videos and photos of themselves online. Explain the reasons for this fashion. Higher is the trend impacting citizens' lives. Sammy, careful. There's quite a bit of confusing information there. So careful. Zen Frederick says, plenty of individuals spend a lot of their time using social media photos by posting images and video of themselves on websites. What has driven this movement? How is this trend influencing people? Okay, Zen, not bad. A little bit of awkward phrasing and confusion there, so careful. Excuse me. Rashika says, many individuals spend many hours of their time on their social media profile, such as uploading videos and pictures of themselves to the internet. What are the reasons for this run? Run's a little bit awkward there. How is this trend affecting their lives? Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough paraphrase on this one. I agree. Nevertheless, it's a good challenge. So, Murasa, great to see you in the class. Murasa says certain individuals spend a ton of time on their social network profiles by uploading images or videos to the internet. What has caused this popularity, and what is the impact on people's lives? Elaborate with examples. Okay. Arda says, so many people around the world try to be active on social media, like sharing photos, videos, stories. For what reason do they do that? Arda, that's quite good. Quite a good paraphrase, okay? Jitesh, due to the technological era, I think you're already answering the question, Jitesh. It's not the goal yet. The goal yet here is first just to understand what we're dealing with. Videos and other intriguing stories, this trend is happening because they love to do this kind of thing. That's pretty loose information, Jitesh, and opinionated, so paraphrase first. Rajveer says, certain individuals spend a significant amount of time on their social media self, such as putting their videos and images on the World Wide Web. What is this trend? Why is this trend proliferating? How can this affect individuals' lives? Okay, that's pretty nice, Rajveer. Here we go. So this is my paraphrase to the question. Again, the original question. It's a good idea. It's good practice to reread the original question and then your paraphrase. So many people invest a lot of their time into their social media image, such as uploading videos and pictures of themselves to the internet. What has led to this trend? How is this trend affecting people's lives? Okay, this is what I wrote. A lot of individuals spend many hours in the day on their presence in social media, like adding video clips and selfies to their profiles online. What has created this culture? How does this behavior impact people's lives? Okay, so I thought of a few cool new words like selfies. Oh yeah, you know, I think they've added the word to the dictionary now. So you take a picture of yourself, it's a selfie. Your social media presence, your social media profile, right? What has created this culture? So when a trend becomes so popular that people are doing it all over the world, it becomes a culture as well. Okay. All right, so now I've got some clarity. Now, before I move on, I recognize a very important detail in this question. I recognize whether it's an open or a closed question. So is this an open or a closed question? Okay. So all questions people ask of each other, whether it's the IELTS or whether it's a friendly chit-chat at a coffee shop, all questions asked of each other can be categorized as either open or closed. Closed questions are yes-no questions or agree-disagree. They have a restricted set of answers, so they have maybe 2, 3, 4 answers. Yes-no would be 2 answers. Open questions can have millions of answers, so it's up to your opinion, okay? So is this an open question or is this a closed question? What has led to this trend? How is this trend affecting people's lives? It is an open question. Yeah, you can really have any answer that you want, okay? So this is an open question. There are thousands of possible answers. Your goal? Is to find the most rational and common answer possible. Okay, so that's why planning is extra important for these kinds of open questions. So you have to really be careful, because if you just start writing, it's really easy to go off topic, to spread yourself too thin and mention way too many different kinds of answers. So planning is always important, but planning is especially important with open questions because it is easy to get lost in ideas and to go off topic. Okay, does that make sense? So does it make sense why planning becomes extra important for open questions like this? You really want to identify just a couple of key answers that you can really dig into and get some details so that you have a clear and concise, coherent essay. Hi, Ois. She says, yes, Sammy understands the logic here. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Amra says, because it has plenty of answers and our goal is to find the most popular response for this purpose. Yeah. She says planning is everywhere in life. Yeah, absolutely. So you really want to plan this. Okay, so let's start that planning process. And the planning process starts with always identifying the topic. What's the topic of this question? When you're identifying your topics and you're controlling ideas, always use the original question, not your paraphrasing. Okay? So many people invest a lot of their time in their social media image, such as uploading videos and pictures of themselves to the internet. What has led to this trend? How is this trend affecting people's lives? What are we talking about? Arda says the topic is about social media. I don't think so, Arda. Nope, I don't think it's just about social media. That's not really what we're talking about. Okay, it's more specific than that. Gunjan says it's a waste of time. That's an opinion. Kaldeep says social websites. Not really. That's not what we're talking about. Okay. All right. Sammy says it's about uploading images and videos to social media. No. Janelle says popularity of social media. No. Yeah, Rahul, very good. Rahul, you're really getting it. You've been nailing it in these task 2 topics. Yeah, so Rahul says it's investing time in creating social media image. That's what we're talking about. Rajveer says spending a lot of time on social media profiles. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So we're not talking about social media. We're talking about investing time into social media. Okay. Yeah, the topic is investing much time into social media. It's not just simply about social media, okay? Be really careful if you do not have an accurate topic, then it's really easy to write an incorrect essay. And even if you are using great English, especially on the academic IELTS, you're not going to get a very good band score if your essay does not have good content or does not focus on the topic that you're being asked. Okay, so what's the controlling idea or ideas? Okay, so in connection to investing much time in social media, what's the controlling idea? So what do we want to know about this? What does the essay seek to explore on this topic? Okay. So Kashirsha says the causes and consequences of this trend. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so the causes and consequences of this trend. That's beautifully put, Kashirsha. It's very concise. Okay? So, yeah. The causes and consequences of this trend. Yeah, so we've got that figured out. What's the voice here? Is it a first person or a third person essay? So again, look at the original question. Okay, are we writing a first person essay or are we writing a third person essay in this case? Is it asking for my personal opinion or is it simply just asking for a general truth, a general opinion? Okay, Oa Sabishek says third person essay. Very good. If any of our viewers do not know what a first, second, and third person essay, what that means, definitely research it. It's very, very important. It's fundamental to writing skills. So it is a third person voice of the author. Very good, Arda. Absolutely. Okay, so answer here, it's a third person. Yeah. Which means no I, no my. Okay. All right. So far, so good. All right. Let's ask some questions about the topic. It's the next step in our planning process. So what does it mean to invest much time into social media? Okay. So first question. What does that mean? And when you're doing this at home, definitely write down these questions and answers on paper. It develops your thinking, it develops your English, your vocabulary, your writing, your reading. So it's a very comprehensive kind of practice to do at home. Definitely do it. What does it mean to invest much time into a social media image? Okay. Abhishek Verma, it's the opposite. So Abhishek is asking, can I explain the controlling idea? It doesn't mean that the topic hovers around the controlling idea. The opposite, the controlling idea hovers around the topic. So the controlling idea means what do we want to know about that topic? Okay. All right, Sanem says it means to sit in front of the PC or laptop using social accounts. Okay. Oa says when people use social media during their work and free time and even in their bed. Okay, Charmin says it means spending many hours on social media on a daily basis. Okay, yeah. Deepika says caring a lot about how people project themselves online. I think that you're going a question further, Deepika. You're thinking about why people might do it. Okay. Rajveer says it means individuals spend 4 to 5 hours each day on social media to upload their selfies and videos. Okay, good, Rajveer. That's what I was thinking, is we should use some quantitative language here. So what does it mean to invest much time into social media image? To use 4 or more hours daily to upload videos and images into social media profiles. Okay. Yeah, so when you have something that's qualitative, like much time, one clear way to answer or define that is to quantify it. So 4 or more hours daily. So what is much time? It means 4 or more hours. Maybe for some people it's 2 or more hours every 2 days. I don't know, okay? So you have to explain this to me as your audience, as your reader. What does it mean, much time? Okay. All right. So next question. What is the next question that I should ask? Okay. So now that I have some clarity on what I mean by investing much time, yep, Charmin, quantitative, super important. Okay. What does it mean? Okay. Or what's the next question? Rajveer says, why do individuals spend a lot of time on social media? Abhishek agrees. Second question, why do people invest so much in social media? Yeah, it's a good question. So, okay, so this kind of feeds into our controlling idea as well. So we're starting to explore that controlling idea of why this trend is so popular. So what's the answer to this? Okay, so why would people invest so much time into, let's be a little bit more specific, into their social media image? Okay. Deepika says, because people care a lot about how people project themselves online. Try to explain that a little bit clearer. Be concise, students. Kashirsha says, to attain validation and approval from society. Okay. Yeah, sure. Zen Fabric says, to gain popularity, to get recognized. That's kind of the same, but two different ways of saying it. To gain popularity, to be recognized. Okay, Gunjan says to get paid due to some small business. Okay. Let's make it simpler. To earn money. Yeah, some people will actually earn money through their social media presence. Absolutely. Okay. Cargie says to show a positive image of themselves which they are unable to project personally to people around them. Cargie, I think that although it might have some truth, it might be a little bit awkward to explain that. Rajveer says to share their happiness and sorrows with others to gain sympathy. Yeah. All right. Harman says to make new friends, to build a community. Okay, now this one, to make friends and to build a community, that's also connected to gain popularity, to be recognized by society. All right. Okay. Ois says to kill boredom. Ois, always try to think of the positive side for excitement and adventure, to be entertained. Okay. So always give positive answers. All right. Good. We'll come back to this in a moment here. So why do people? Okay, and how? So next question is, how do people do this? Okay, we have the answer for that already by uploading pictures of themselves, their activities, and their interests. Okay, good. So now I'm switching to my controlling ideas. Okay. So I've talked about the topic, so spending a lot of time on social media, what, why, and how. And now I'm going to talk about the controlling ideas. So what has led to this trend is my next question, right? Okay. What has led to this trend? So, why have people suddenly started to invest all this time into social media? Okay, what has led to this trend? Now, don't be redundant here. So, obviously, these reasons why people are investing so much time, these are reasons why the trend is popular, but there are some other reasons. Okay, Rahul says many people have smartphones these days. Yeah, okay, very good. So many people have access to devices and software to use social media. Absolutely, you're right, Rahul. Very good. So we've got smartphones, we've got laptops, computers, so we're able to access it. Okay, what else? So what else is making it so popular? Okay. Think really simple here. Simple thoughts lead to beautiful essays and answers. I'm not sure if anybody has said this, but it's definitely the epicenter of this. Okay. Kashirsha says people want to resemble celebrities. There's something simpler than all of these ideas. All right, what's the difference of, let me ask you this way. So again, visualize, keep it simple. What's the difference between a bear and a human, or a loggerhead turtle and a human? Okay. If some of you remember the lesson about loggerhead turtles in the listening, then you'll be able to answer this. So humans are what? We are, Carolina says, to keep connected. Well, simply put, humans are social by nature. Okay. So one of the reasons, yeah, very good. There we go. Eric Wan says humans are social animals, right? So of course, given a tool like social media that allows us to connect with each other, that's going to become extremely valuable for us because our most fundamental nature is to be social. It's even more fundamental than having food. Research has shown that, right? So what has led to this trend? Well, humans are social by nature, and social media tools allow for that nature to be explored, right? And many people have the devices to do this. Okay. All right. Good. So now keep remembering the original question. Okay. So when I'm doing the planning here, I'm definitely going to remember my original question here and what has led to this trend, okay? And how is this trend affecting people's lives? Okay, so investing a lot of time into social media. All right. So, all right, and again, these are open questions, so you literally have millions of answers that you can give. You have to focus on the top level answers, okay? So, So how does, let's be more specific here. So how does spending 4 hours a day on social media image impact people's lives? Okay. So Charmin says it can become addictive. Okay. You're going to have to explain that in a little bit more detail. Charmin says less time given to family and friends in the real world. Okay, so less time is spent on face-to-face interactions. Yeah. Okay, so that would be a negative. Okay, Murasa says some people become more social. Okay. David says more information consumption. Gigi says less socialization. Aziz Bek says wasting a lot of valuable time. Okay. Andre says an increase in procrastinators. Janelle says more laziness and counterfeit. Janelle, I think you're thinking about false image. Okay. Amit says people are unable to focus on their studies. So we have lots of different answers here. Again, we want to think of the main answers here. Okay. Arta says it makes people antisocial. Okay. All right. Okay, so less time is spent on face-to-face interactions. Some people become more social. Okay. Okay, I would say that creating a false image is definitely something that can happen to many people. Becoming more successful is also another part of what can happen. So obviously, there are pros and cons, okay? So we can definitely say there are benefits and deficits, depending on how people use social media, right? Depending on the user. Okay. So, all right, I've done a good job. I've identified the topic, the controlling idea. I've done some really good brainstorming. And again, your goal here as a good author, as a good thinker, is to stay focused and narrow your ideas. You cannot try to write about all of the ideas that come to mind, because then you would be writing a book and not a 250, 300 word essay for the IELTS exam, okay? So important points to recognize. One, as I showed you here, is there are clearly benefits and negatives to spending a lot of time on social media, depending on the user. Another point that I recognized here, when we have why do people invest so much time in their social media image, and we gave all of these good ideas to be validated by society, to get approval, to gain popularity, to earn money. There is an important point that you should have realized here with me, is that these points can be connected. Okay, so if I gain the approval of society and I get popular, and many people agree with what I feel or what I think, that can lead to being popular, and that can then lead to earning money and making lots of friends. So does everybody see that? Does everybody see like why people invest so much time in their social media image? This information can be connected, right? So gaining approval, gaining popularity, then gaining money. These can be connected concepts, right? Right? Everybody sees that. So you want to find connections wherever possible, because then in your essay you can explore that further. Okay? So Rajveer says, yeah, there's a chain of logic. There's a chain of thought there. Okay? All right. Okay? Good. Great. So we've made those connections. All right, so we've made those connections. We've identified pros and cons of the trend as well. Now we can come up with an effective thesis statement for the essay. Okay? So now that we've thought about all of this, we can answer these two questions. Okay? So it's the argument or position which clearly answers the questions of task 2 in this case, okay, or the essay. So using the concepts from our planning, we can now clearly explain why social media, or spending a lot of time on social media, has become popular, and why or what can be the results of this trend. Okay? Beast, I hope your IELTS results are good. I hope you ended up with some good results. All right, so let's formulate the thesis statement. So now I can use some of my paraphrasing from before as well, right? So a lot of individuals spend many hours in the day on their social media presence. So I can start with that, right? So all right. So this would be the start of my thesis statement. Write your own thesis statement. All right. And then we'll compare. This answers the first question. So the motivation behind spending much time on social media profiles is an innate human desire to be popular and successful, right? Okay. So all right. And then this is the second part of my thesis. Today I'm going with a 2-sentence thesis. Your thesis doesn't have to be 1 sentence. It can be 2 sentences. In this case, I'm going with this behavior can be either a positive, leading to money and a high quality of life, or negative, leading to isolation and depression. Okay? All right. Jat Narwal is asking, is it important to write this statement? Jat, it is crucial to write this statement for a high band score. Okay. Rashika says, many people spend many hours on social media for popularity. However, it can lead people to addiction and health problems. All right. It's okay. I think it's a little bit restrictive, Rashika. Sammy says, spending much time on social media leads to popularity for individuals as well as earning money. On the other hand, it becomes an addiction and affects people's health. Sammy, you have some good ideas, but answer the question more directly. So the reason people spend so much time on social media is, okay? So the question's asking, why is this trend popular? Your thesis should answer, this trend is popular because, okay? Rajveer writes, the prime reason for the popularity of spending a significant amount of time on social media image is to become popular. Yeah, that's why I did it a little bit differently, Rajveer, so I don't have to repeat the word popular. It can have both positive and negative impacts on individuals based on its use. Yeah, very good, Rajveer. So that's another way to do it. Just paraphrase the word popular. Okay. All right. Zubair says, this is Zubair Mahmoud, social media has many positive effects on education, including better communication, timely information. It's a lot of information, Zubair, for your thesis. Okay. All right. So again, this is my thesis. It's 2 sentences. The motivation behind spending much time on social media profiles is an innate human desire to be popular and successful. This behavior can be either a positive, leading to money and a high quality of life, or negative, leading to isolation and depression. So now, to create my introductory paragraph, all I need to do is create a hook, a background, and then add my thesis. Okay. So I'm going to move quite quickly here, students, because I don't have too much time left in the class, and this should go quite smoothly once you have all of this planning. So your hook is just a simple statement that is connected with the topic of the essay. So the topic here is spending much time on social media, okay? So simply put, okay. So a simple hook like this, spending hours a day on social media accounts is now a global phenomenon, okay? All right, that's my hook. What is the background? What is the definition? So, millions of people invest 3 or more hours to update or upload okay. So millions of people invest 3 or more hours each day or daily to upload pictures and videos of themselves and their experiences to share with friends, family, and the world. Okay. And now I'm just going to grab my thesis and copy that in. Okay. And there's my high band introductory paragraph to this question. So I go back and I read the original question, okay, not my paraphrase, but the original question, which is here. And then I read my introductory paragraph to make sure I didn't make too many mistakes or I'm not going off topic, that I've clearly understood this idea. So here we go. Task 2 writing. Many people invest a lot of their time into their social media image, such as uploading videos and pictures of themselves to the internet. What has led to this trend? How is this trend affecting people's lives? Spending hours a day on social media accounts is now a global phenomenon. Millions of people invest 3 or more hours daily to upload pictures and videos of themselves and their experiences to share with friends, family, and the world. The motivation behind spending much time on social media profiles is an innate human desire to be popular and successful. This behavior can be either a positive, leading to money and a high quality of life, or negative, leading to isolation and depression. All right, I'm feeling good about that. So I have a good idea that now I can write some good body paragraphs that go into more detail about human desire to be popular, successful, and how that's connected to social media trends, as well as the positives and negatives. And we're going to do that tomorrow in tomorrow's class at the same time. So at this time, tomorrow, join me again and we will write the body paragraphs, body paragraph 1 and 2, as well as the conclusion. And I will show you how to develop those paragraphs based on the introduction and based on the planning and the brainstorming that we did in this class. Okay. Rebuy would recommend 4 paragraphs for the essay altogether. Introduction, body 1, body 2, conclusion. All right, great work, everyone. I did check and I saw a few different hooks and some background as well, so great. Even if I don't read and give you feedback when we're moving through the class a bit faster, it's great practice that you're writing, even in the chat. So thank you, Carolina, for mediating the chat. It's always greatly appreciated. Hopefully, I will catch all of you tomorrow for the second half of this class. To continue studying right now, just check us out on our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. You will find lots more videos, practice exams there, especially when you join the premium package, which is highly worth it. See you all tomorrow. Great job. Keep it up. And much love to all of you wherever you are in this beautiful world. I'm Adrian, signing out from Victoria for now. Bye.